So today I'm gonna be doing a very fall cranberry look. I mean, it can also be used for summer because of the colors, but I'm gonna be creating with the Modern Renaissance Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Hopefully you guys like it. Stick around. So I'm gonna be using my Fit Me concealer. I'm just gonna put that all over my lid, and I used it as a base. Then I'm just gonna blend it out, and I'm just gonna put it all over my lid. So after I'm done blending that, I'm just gonna get a very small blending brush, and I'm gonna start using golden ochre right there, and I'm gonna use that as my base to set the concealer. You charge me up like electricity. Jumpstart my heart with your love. There's an energy. As you can see, my eyebrows are already done, and they do look a little thick and dark, but once I put everything together, they will come together. I do like them a little thick sometimes they come out thick, sometimes they come out thin, and sometimes I just leave them. When you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful. At that point, I dropped the brush by accident. Sorry, but I got it. Woo! I was gonna start using a really flat brush. It's a really it's kind of an oldie brush. It's like a beginner's brush. It's not nothing professional. It's from Hot Topic. So I'm just gonna use that, and I'm just gonna blend Relgar, a very like an orangey shade, on all over my lid. Okay, so next we're gonna get a blending brush, and we're just gonna start getting red ochre, and we're gonna put that very lightly on the lid, because if you do put a lot, it will create a mess, and it's gonna be really hard to blend. So now we're just gonna start moving to the other eye, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. You do have to keep blending, and you do have to stop and like look at both eyes, because it's a really harsh color and it's really hard to blend. You do like a blending queen to do that, like Daisy Marquez. I would aspire to be her. Anyways, yeah, you have to keep blending. Really, just like let your eyeball fall out. It doesn't matter. Just kidding. I am so sorry that I am obviously covering my face. This is the first time me doing this. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror, and then I realized that I was covering my face. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so next we're gonna take a darker shade, and it's Cyrus Amber, I believe, and you're just gonna put that really lightly on the outer lid, because that as well is very hard to blend, and it's gonna make a mess if you don't know how to blend it. You do to me like lightning when I'm swimming in the sea. From the very first time we loved, from the very first time we touched, walking on wires and power lines. You put your body on top of mine every time that you lift me up. We're also going to be taking Venetian red, and we're just going to put that all over the lid as well, but very lightly, because it is a very strong color as well, and you have to blend that really good as well, just to make it a little bit more reddish burgundy, so it gives it that fall color. And we're just gonna go ahead and do that on the other eye as well, and repeat the same steps with Cyrus Amber and Venetian red.
She's pulling me back to you from the very first time we loved, from the very first time we talked.
And this was the moment when I realized that I had put too much of the darker color and I had to blend that shit out.
Thoughts of your smile, oh, you gotta give me some.
That's exactly what you don't want, what I just did. Oh well. So at this point, you're just gonna start retouching both eyes with the colors to just blend them in a little better, so then it won't look as blotchy and it's not gonna look like if you just have spots all over your face without being well blended. At this point, my headband was coming off and like it kind of bothered me, but I mean, whatevs. I'm fabulous. So as you can see, the cranberry look is coming together. We're gonna use the same concealer we did use in the beginning of the video, and we're just gonna try to cut the crease, especially if you have hooded eyelids. Be very careful because the concealer will get on top of the lid once you close your eye. So to set the concealer, we're going to use the same eyeshadow, which was golden ochre, and we're just going to put it on the lid to set the concealer. And don't put too much because it will cause fallout, and if you put too much, it will also get on top of your lid. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the left eye, and it's going to be the same steps that you used to cut the crease on the other eye.
Oh my, what you do to me, like lightning when I'm swimming in the sea.
So next you're gonna take a flat brush and you're just gonna take the shade Primavera and you're gonna put it on the lid where you cut the crease, and you're just gonna try to blend it in with the Cyrus Amber, Venetian Red, and Red Ochre, so it doesn't look very blotchy, so it doesn't look like you just plastered it on there.
Oh, Lord of mercy, I'm begging you, please. I'm feeling drained, I need love. You charge me up like electricity. Jumpstart my heart with your love.
So you're just gonna start blending everything in with the Primavera shade so it just comes well together. So now we're gonna take a very small fluffy brush and we're gonna take the shade Venetian Red again, and we're just gonna blend it in a little more to give it more of a cranberry color, and it looks a little bit more red. So now I'm moving on to the eyeliner, and I like to make a very thin line on top of where my lash line is at, and I like to start like creating the wing and just go from the outside in and just connect it with the inner line I had made up at first. And I use NYC liquid liner. It's department store. It costs like $3, and it works very, very, very good.
You could give it all, but it's never enough, no.
So we're just gonna repeat the same step of eyeliner on the left eye.
There's an energy when you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful, I can feel it. When you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful, I can feel it.
So now we're just finishing up the eyeliner and giving it some last touches. So next we're moving on to the face, and I like using the Victoria's Secret lotion, and it's so good for my face. Honestly, it moisturizes my face so good and I never ever break out. So for my foundation, I use the CoverGirl Outlast foundation, in the shade Golden Tan, and it works really good and it has a lot of coverage. So I'm just gonna put that all over my face.
Takes me high to infinity.
So now we're gonna use the same concealer we've been using, and we're just gonna use it to highlight the areas of our face.
Like lightning when I'm swimming in the sea. From the very first time we loved, from the very first time we touched, walking on wires and power lines.
So I forgot to tell you guys, what I use for my eyebrows is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Chocolate, and it works really good.
To the heaven and stars above.
For baking, I use the NYX HD powder, and it works really good. You just have to make sure to really dust it off your face well, or it's just gonna stay there.
Charge me up like electricity. Jumpstart my heart with your love.
So while I'm baking my face, I'm gonna be putting on mascara. I really wanted to put on fake lashes, but I'm not a pro yet, so I didn't want to mess up my eye makeup. So the first mascara that I'll be using is the Pumped Up Colossal by Maybelline New York, and that one's just like a base for my eyelashes, so it pumps them up a little bit.
So powerful, I can feel it when you hold me, when you touch me. It's so powerful.
So the next mascara that I'm going to be using is the Scandalized by Rimmel London, and it works so good. You can literally tell the difference.
Something keeps pulling me back to you from the very first time we loved.
So now I'm just going to take my sponge and we're just going to blend everything in.
The stroke of your fingers, the scent of you lingers. My mind running wild with thoughts of your smile. Oh, you gotta give me some. Oh, you could give it all, but it's never enough, no.
So to contour my face, I'm going to be using the NYC Individual Eyes palette, and I use a brown shadow to contour my face.
When you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful. I can feel it. When you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful.
So to highlight my face, I'm going to use the Becca highlight in the shade Opal, and it works so good. So I'm just gonna go back in with my beauty blender, and I'm gonna just blend out the contouring just to make it a little bit darker. So now we're gonna go in with the highlight, and first I like to apply some with my finger, and then I go in with a brush to buff it out. So now we're just gonna repeat the same step on the opposite side.
In your arms burns like fire, electricity. When you're close, I feel the sparks. Takes me high to infinity.
So we're just gonna take red ochre one more time, and we're gonna put that underneath our waterline just to make the look pop out a little more.
Like lightning when I'm swimming in the sea. From the very first time we loved, from the very first time we touched, walking on wires and power lines. You put your body on top of mine. Every time that you lift me up to the heaven and stars above. Oh Lord of mercy, I'm begging you, please. I'm feeling drained, I need love.
So now we're gonna take the shade Vermeer, and we're gonna highlight our brow bone and use it as well for our inner highlight.
There's an energy when you hold me, when you touch me. It's so powerful, I can feel it. When you hold me, when you touch me, it's so powerful. There's an
So we're gonna go back in with the Pumped Up Colossal just to put mascara on our lower lash line. Oh my god!
I couldn't leave if I wanted to, 'cause something keeps pulling me back to you from the very first time we.
So lastly, we're gonna take the shade Lumiere in Matte by ColourPop.
Stroke of your fingers, the scent of you lingers, my mind running wild with thoughts of your smile. Oh, you gotta give me some. Oh, you could give it all, but it's never enough, no.
So this is the final result. I really like it. The palette is really good. Honestly, I totally recommend it. It has a lot of summer colors, but you could definitely make a fall look out of it. Even, I mean, I don't know if there's winter looks, but yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in my next video. Like, subscribe, comment.